released a list of names of alleged treasury looters, and then on Sunday released an additional 23 names. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, in a statement issued in Lagos, said the new list and then the one earlier released were not arbitrary but based on verifiable facts. The minister alleged that, let me read it, and I'm quoting from the Punch right now. There were, on the additional list, there were names of the former governors of Plateau, Niger, and Oyo states. That is Jonah Jang, Babangida Aliyu, and Rashid Ladoja, respectively. Then the second batch of looters list also included former NSA Sambo Dasuki and former Petroleum Resources Minister Desiani Alison Maduike. So in the end of it, this list is out, and it has, of course, caused a lot of controversy in the few days that the list has been out. You can, of course, go to our friends at Transparent IG, Transparent ITNG, and that list is there. It lists the now chairman of the PDP, Uche Secondus, the former PDP financial secretary. It lists Olisa Metu, Raymond Dokwesi, Wari Pamo Owe, Robert Azibiaola, Sambo Dasuki, Alison Maduike. They have the list, and they've put it into a more easily read form for everybody to understand. And the list continues to generate controversy, as we also know that the PDP reacted to the list as well.
To a very large extent, Tolu, we have a lot of agitation because of this, because of the list.
Yes.
A former governor of Plateau State, like you earlier mentioned, senator representing Plateau North in the National Assembly, Jonah Jang, who was one-time governor of that state, has described the recent looters list released by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, which alleged that Jang, embezzled about 12.5 billion naira. He said the accusation or the list is laughable, and that there are no preliminary evaluation, and it's so pathetic that you just release somebody's name into the public without really considering the impact it's going to have on their personality, their career, and a lot of other things like that. And Jonah Jang is already promising,
retribution.
Retribution. No, not even retribution. He's saying that no, I didn't steal money. He's saying that we're going to court. He's ready. He said he's going to put his papers down. How monies were spent, all the monies that were available to him, and all of that. So Jang, in a statement yesterday, said the so-called list of looters is a testament to the desperation which holds the All Progressive Congress in its firm grip, after which it is now certainly an infamous a cameo in power, considered by many to be tragic and regrettable. A lot of people whose names appear in that list are of the opinion that this is not right, this is not the time it should be done, it is highly politically motivated, and it has everything to ensure that people who qualifies to probably contest against PDP at one stage or the other, either as a governor or as a presidential candidate, made the list, so that they're all discredited and defaced, and eventually you have a very weak opposition on the long run in 2019 as we approach the election year.
And that is part of the conversation we'll be having, because people have also been referencing 2007 and also infamous list released under the then chairman of the EFCC, Nuhu Rubadu. But in the meantime, we're making contacts with Duke Oputa. He is a political analyst as well as a social commentator. He will be joining the conversation with us this morning. And of course, don't forget, you can send in your WhatsApp messages via 080-9597-5805 to also be part of the conversation. Hello, good morning, Mr. Duke. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Tolu. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Yes, we can. How are you?
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
How's the United Kingdom today?
as good as ever. Thank you very much.
I hope you're coping with the weather quite well.
Actually, the weather is getting much better. It's nice and bright. I'm quite warm this morning.
What's the temperature today?
Well over 12, 15.
Oh, that's a good weather.
For a spring morning. So well good.
Oh, cool.
Very good.
All right, so Mr. Duke, let's get into the conversation. You are definitely up to speed with issues surrounding the list that was just released a few days ago, then a follow-up list, and then, of course, the PDP's response to the list. So let's start with your initial impressions. When the federal government released this list and put out the names and said, of course, that these are based on verifiable facts and not arbitrary issues, what was your initial impression to this situation?
Well, I think my first impression really is that the release of the list and all the force surrounding it, it's more like a red herring and a distraction from the real issue, which is the fight against corruption. Let me start by making a reference to a report that I've seen online. Most Nigerians who are interested would have seen that report online, which is a Chatham House report, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, of which I am a member. And I was at Chatham House myself a couple of weeks back when this report was reviewed again, and there was a panel discussion on that. And the report is Collective Action on Corruption in Nigeria. I'm sure Tolu and Dapo, you are fully aware of research that which was actually read in Lagos and Abuja a few years back. Let me just make a few points. Pick up a few points. I've got the report right here in front of me. It says here that an estimated $400 billion was stolen from Nigeria's public accounts from 1960 to 1999, and an additional $182 billion between 2005 and 2014. That is almost $600 billion in a period of just about 50 years. The second point here says that President Muhammadu Buhari has shown sincerity in his commitment to lead anti-corruption efforts in Nigeria, including through strengthening whistleblowing, incentives and protections, high-profile investigations of prominent individuals, the large-scale theft of public funds, and the recovery of billions of naira by Nigeria's anti-corruption agencies. But these efforts are essential, cannot by themselves foster a sustainable, comprehensive reversal of long-established assumptions and practices in the absence of a decisive shift in public apathy. That's the second point. The next point is, again, that tough talk and fear-based messaging cannot substitute for authenticity and exemplary behavior. And again, I will not dwell on that. Let me go further on that. And then again, it says using trendsetters and social marketing strategies to overturn the false beliefs that tend to drive corrupt practices, where people would like to see change but wrongly fear that others will not share their beliefs. Now, this final point would take me to say, for instance, we call trendsetters, those who are actually in the public view, like our politicians, our public officials, and legislators, and we all are aware of what is going on at the National Assembly, with, for instance, Sani's disclosure a few weeks ago of how much money our legislators get.
Yes.
Now, what am I saying? What is the point I'm making here? The point I'm making here is that when you look at that list that was released by Lai Mohammed, I just try to top up the actual total amount of monies apparently or supposedly or allegedly embezzled by most PDP politicians. It comes to, apart from Alice Limadeker's several billions that we can't really verify, the list comes to a paltry $5 billion. Now, when you put this in context, put $5 billion right next to $600 billion. So you can begin to see how spending 4 years chasing people who took $6 billion out of our system in the last 4 years, how does that help fight a corruption practice over the last 15 years that has basically effectively taken almost 80% of Nigeria's earnings in that period? Because in that same period, the government of Nigeria earned probably $700, maybe $800 billion, and 600 of that was stolen by politicians. A large number of them who are still alive today, living and making a lot of noise on, in our platforms. So that is putting it in context. But then coming back to the list, coming back to the list itself, now there's also this issue. Why now? Why is it so important that this list is actually brought out now? And if so, why is it not comprehensive? Are you going to tell Nigerians that only existing PDP sympathizers are corrupt in Nigeria and nobody else is? But that's what this list is. So, in other words, my first impression is that this is a political salvo by the ruling party. And this is one good reason why we cannot eradicate corruption. Because if you politicize it and sectionalize it and use it for personal gain and political ascendancy, then it doesn't do the job, which is to stop corruption in Nigeria. A second point, or a third point, is that corruption is not yesterday's problem in Nigeria. Corruption is today's problem. So, historical corruption, as I pointed out, which has swallowed a vast proportion of our resources over the years, it's important that we address. But I think it's even more important that we address today's corruption, because as you and I speak, policemen are still on the roads collecting money this morning in Lagos, in Abuja, in Malaysia, in Akure. As we speak right now, customs officials are still taking money from people that are bringing goods, making these goods that much more expensive for the Nigerian consumer to buy. So as we speak, officials at the car licensing office are extorting money and issuing licenses for drivers who cannot drive, who are going to kill Nigerians on the road because they haven't learned to drive properly. As we speak, all kinds of corruption practices are taking place in Nigeria. Our legislators are still collecting monies for which this government that is saying we are fighting corruption was not able to tell Nigerians until Sani came out and said that information should have been given to Nigerians by the government in the very first place. They've got the information, they paid the money, so why do they not think it's important that Nigerians know what is going on? So, frankly speaking to you, Dapo, I don't see this as a fight against corruption. I see this as a political battle between the ruling government and the opposition. And most Nigerians will see it that way as well. And hence, the ordinary Nigerians, will carry on with their own individual corrupt practices. As far as they're concerned, the guys at the top are doing it, so can I as well.
So, what I basically hear you saying is really that the list is of no consequence in the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely, it's absolutely irrelevant. It means nothing apart from the fact, of course, that there has been no convictions. I mean, let's take the politics. And like Mohammed says, we have, evidence or incontrovertible proof that this is a list of looters. Is that the way it works? This list should not have been published until these guys have been convicted. You tell us, okay, they've refunded money. So that is prima facie evidence that they stole it. Yes, I would agree with that. But they've refunded money because you've locked them up. If you pick up anybody in Banana Island who's got a 1 billion naira mansion and ask them to produce their tax clearance, and they show you they paid 2 million naira in the last 3 years, so quickly they cannot prove the source of their income. If you threaten to lock them up for the next 5 to 10 years, unless they refund 200 million, they will refund it if they have it. Because nobody wants to get locked up anyway. So the fact that they refunded money may be prima facie evidence that they are, that this money doesn't belong to them. But it doesn't actually provide evidence and proof that they stole it. They could have easily got that money from drugs pushing. But that will come out and tell you, I was selling cocaine, that's where I got the money from. Is that not possible? So really, at the end of the day, I say it once again, I think the government is taking us for granted. They're taking us for fools and idiots. They're playing politics with Nigeria, playing politics with Nigerians, and they come out with this list. And then, of course, Kalikaya comes out with his own list, doesn't he? He accuses Buhari of collecting cars and this. He accuses, Aspasola, he accuses Amechi. He accuses everybody. Anybody can accuse anybody. But the key thing is, who are you chasing? The only reason these people are in the public space at the moment with this because the government is chasing them. The government is actually going after them. They're not going after corruption. They're going after specific people, and that is simply not good enough.
Let me quickly ask you something. When we talked about this yesterday, there was a comment that was made saying that, all right, fine, let it be a cyclical or a cyclical situation. If this current administration goes after those before it who were corrupt, when another administration comes in, fine, they can go ahead and probe this administration and go after those who are corrupt. Do you think there's any value to that? Because eventually we need to go after people who are corrupt wherever they are, and in almost according to some Nigerians, in whatever manner we can go after them. So if another administration comes in and decides to probe this one and goes after people in this administration who they believe are corrupt, does it not eventually help us clean house?
No, not at all. I mean, that is not the way things are done. I mean, it's all very well. I mean, that can provide a certain amount of balance if your objective is to be fair. But we're not talking about being fair here. We're talking about, most importantly, let me say it again, the most important thing is to stop corruption now. That is the most important thing. Because the corruption that is killing Nigeria is not the stolen money. The stolen money has already done its damage. That's in the past. And if you can recover those monies and bring these people to book, absolutely brilliant. But what is important to Nigeria is that corruption stops now. So you want to be able to pay your taxes and know that an official is not going to pocket it. Mm-hmm. You want to be able to have funds voted for a road to be built in your village and know that a contractor is not going to share that money with the commissioner and the governor. I mean, we're talking about corruption at federal government level only. We've sort of gone about, the PDP have been in power for, God knows, 16 years, and we're chasing what they've done in the last 4 years. In the last 16 years, there's been many state governments in Nigeria that were not PDP. There were other parties, the ACM, APC, the APC itself, and the latter parts of the last parliament. And every one of these governments in every one of these states should be subjected to the same level of scrutiny that the federal government is being subjected to. And when you do that, you will see a massive shift in who and what was happening in the country. We cannot allow a cyclical, cleanup to happen, because that is not the way it works anywhere else in the world. It's almost like saying you go to secondary school and you get bullied when you are 11. So it's okay. See, after all, when you go to 14, you can bully the next 11-year-old. So that's fine. Let's carry on bullying. So we don't do that. We stop here right now. And the key thing is that the government is not taking action to stop corruption. All they've done is chase people who they say have corruptly enriched themselves. In fact, not even corruptly enriched themselves, that who have stolen specific amount of money. It's actually, to an extent, really, it sort of more or less brings into context Jonathan's, so-called really stupid statement that stealing is not corruption. Because that's really, I guess, what he was talking about in a way, even though he didn't put it in a sufficiently clear format for people to assimilate. But really, all the government has done is chase people who stole money, specific money that was there, and they saw it and they took it and put it in the pocket and walked away. Mm-hmm. They haven't really
plugged the holes.
They haven't scrutinized contracts that were awarded. They're still not plugging the hole on the way these contracts were awarded. I mean, there was an issue of the leaked memo by the oil minister, the Minister of State, about Makanta Baru's contract awards.
Yes.
What happened to that? Nothing, absolutely nothing. So are we to say that perhaps there was absolutely everything was on above board and not a single kobo or penny was creamed of that contract into anybody's pocket? Is that what the government wants us to believe? But if that is the case, I would like to know where the monies came to build all the big mansions, the skyscrapers, the big businesses that we have in Nigeria today, because every single one of those of them, by a handful, would have been financed by corrupt money. Why do I say that? Because money doesn't grow on trees. As simple as that. And I've said this over and over and over and over again. If the government is serious about corruption, there's a very easy way to chase corruption. Follow the money. It's very simple. There's money in Nigeria. It's visible. It's everywhere. People throw parties and spend 300 million. Where the money comes from? And the only legal definition of a genuine income in any country in this world is that money on which you've paid taxes. If you haven't paid taxes on that money, it's not yours. You haven't earned it. That's the law. That's what the law says. So when the minister says that the highest taxpayer in Nigeria ever has paid 20 million naira a year, at the tax rate of 20%, which is half the current rate, that implies that the highest earners in Nigeria have earned 100 million naira a year. That's the maximum that anybody in Nigeria has ever earned, is 100 million naira a year. Well, you and I know that some people spend that money, just that amount, in one car. Some people spend that amount on the christening of their children. So we can see where the money is. We can see where the corruption is, and the government hasn't got the savvy to actually go after corruption.
Okay, are you also in support of the fact that it's because of the timing of the release of the list as we approach elections in 2019? Is that what is making the list inappropriate, or is it that the people who made the list were not public office holders who probably at one point in time money exchanged, through their hands and all of that? Why is this list seen as, APC playing politics? Why? I mean, are we saying that these people? I understand that he who alleges must also prove, but then, these are people who are in government for a very long time, and the list is coming out saying, and to be very sincere with you, this is, let me just quickly add this to it before you respond, is the fact that PDP ruled Nigeria for about 16 years. So if APC have a set of people really and truly to probe, who probably have, looted fund, is members of the PDP. I'm just feeling that way. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the point you made is valid. That is to say that the timing of the release of the list has got everything to do with the fact that we have elections in 10 months. So, obviously, the ruling party is looking for a way to discredit the opposition, the PDP. That's number one, and I agree with you. And frankly speaking, if this is a comprehensive, genuine list of malpractice in the previous government, then they have every right and indeed, even an obligation to highlight it before the election. Because you don't really want to bring back people into power who are corrupt. That is true. But having said that, he made the point that the PDP ruled Nigeria for 16 years. But no, I disagree. The PDP didn't rule Nigeria for 16 years. Every single party did. Because apart from the federal government, there were also state governments, and they also had money to spend. So the corruption would have been spread across both the federal and the state. Why are we concentrating on the federal only? So it is not a case of PDP only. But again, having said that, a large number of people in the ruling party today came from the PDP, and they were in government as PDP governors. Rotimi Amechi was a governor in Rivers State as a PDP governor. So was that making PDP in the context of PDP ruled the country in the last 16 years? Or does it make him all of a sudden no longer PDP? And we've also noticed that when people declare an allegiance to APC, their cases suddenly disappear. But let's go back to fundamentals that were. Like I said, is this list a list of people that the law says are criminals, looters, corrupt people? No, it isn't, because the law has not made a pronouncement yet. So, if this country were a country where the rule of law actually existed, to be honest with you, Lai Mohammed and Buhari's government could easily be taken to court and sued for defamation.
Do you?
But gotten a result.
Let me quickly come in there, because a number of those on the list have actually said that's going to happen. Now, we know that over the weekend, the PDP chairman, Uche Secondus, had given the Minister of Information and Culture 48 hours to withdraw his statements against him or face litigation. Former Minister of Aviation, now Senator Stella Odua, has actually done, she was in an interview over the weekend as well, and has also said that she is in contact, in conversation with her lawyers, looking at maybe suing the federal government. In this regard, do you think that they should? Would you suggest, if one of them was to come to you and ask, what advice would you give? Should they take the federal government to court on this? Some have said they need to prove their innocence because of the allegations, and others, like myself, believe it is he who alleges that must prove. So take them to court.
Well, frankly speaking, in the context of Nigeria, I wouldn't bother with our them, because in the first instance, I mean, how long is a piece of string? I mean, it will take forever to even get this case to be had in the courts. And by the time that is done, the Irish government might be extinct. There might be a completely new government anywhere. I mean, there's no value in them going to try to prove their innocence. Because in truth, again, we all know, as far as I am personally concerned, most of our politicians, and I say most because we still make allowances for one or two people that might be very honestly, genuinely innocent of all kinds of wrongdoing, but the vast majority of our politicians are corrupt. And the center of this is, you are corrupt. That's what the government is saying. But the key thing is, like I said, if you have a case, you've got to prove it first before you can put it in the public arena and accuse them. And in fact, to be honest with you, in a judicial system that works properly, Lai Mohammed's publication of this case in itself may have jeopardized the case against them. Because it's in effect, really, they have been pronounced guilty. It's
prejudicial.
Absolutely. Prejudicial to the case. So if I were the lawyer, I would go to the courts and I would essentially put in a plea of no case to answer on the basis of the fact that it has been prejudiced by the statements made by the government. And this is where, again, our government is inept. Between you and me, you sometimes get exasperated. You don't know what to do about our country, because we have massively brilliant, intelligent people in Nigeria. I mean, I consider myself as being sensible and relatively well educated. But believe me, there are a million Nigerians who are more sensible than me and much better educated than me. And if they are there and we can't get our country together, it's down to us. So my own position is very straightforward. APC and PDP are bumping themselves head to head, basically using Nigeria as a football to try and put themselves in positions where they will continue to loot the country. My solution is it's time we dish them both and move on to something else. I'm sorry if I have to make a positive statement here, but sometimes you've really got to pitch your tent where it is. We need to reclaim Nigeria for Nigerians and stop these politicians from messing us around. This list is of no consequence. This list doesn't fight corruption. This list is not comprehensive at all. This list is centered around politicians and military officers that serve Jonathan. What about the civil servants? What about customs? What about the police? You were talking earlier, and I was listening to you on the app, which again, once more, let me just compliment, because your app is absolutely brilliant. I was listening to the app, and we're talking about the $1 billion that has been approved. Absolutely for police. And I asked myself the question. I mean, Obasanjo said something, you don't reinforce failure with failure, and I picked up on that. It sounds quite good. Apparently it's a military adage that they use on the train. And the key thing is, our police force, without being personal to any individual policeman, that the police force as a force is non-functional. It is non-functional because it is effectively personnel by inadequately trained, inadequately educated people. The federal character comes into play. So in some states, they wouldn't even get people who have one single CSS 3 qualification, one single O level to come into police force. There's no way police force with that level of intellect, if not on the grassroots, can be effective. But you have to understand the law. You have to have confidence in when you're dealing with everybody in society before you can actually be an effective policeman. So if this government really wanted to change things in Nigeria, if you wanted real change, the structural change that they should have been looking at is starting from the police force. I think we have to completely revamp the police force. You have to completely restructure it and bring the right quality of personnel into the police force. And how much is that going to cost us? Have a public debate and even consider things like bringing in civilian heads of the police so that you don't perpetuate a lifetime of corrupt education. As far as I'm concerned, any policeman that comes from the ranks all the way to become Inspector General, it's already been through the system. You can't change him, and you can't get him to change the place, because that's all he knows. So I would personally go ahead and just say, look, I'm going to go out there and get a very senior advocate of Nigeria who has been in the police force and make him an IG. I don't care what the police force says. That's not the issue. What I care about is Nigeria. Nigeria needs to change. End of story. If you don't like it, leave the country. And if you think it's a bad idea, say why. In whose interest?
And see how we can make it better.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing. And this government is not doing that at all. They are concentrating on the election, the re-election in 2019, and this list that they brought out is essentially designed to discredit the opposition and make it an easier ride for them.
Now, let me ask you, taking a quick trip back in history, part of this that's also caused a little bit of controversy is the fact that of the involvement of Femi Adesina, Garba, everybody's names, so just give me a second, and Lai Mohammed, and that is going back into 2007, in February 2007, when the then chairman of the FCC, Nuhu Ribadu, did approve the release of a name of 135 persons suspected to be fraudulent, including a number of governors and top politicians. Now, the FCC at the time described the list as purely advisory, and it comprised 82 members of opposition parties, 53 members of the ruling PDP, as well as those who were named. And it's this part of the advisory that I want us to quickly get to. This is what Nuhu Ribadu was quoted as saying then. We are going to prevent past leaders from contesting elections by exposing their ills, no matter how highly placed they are, because they plunged this country into Tokumbo stage. That was in 2006 while they were compiling it before it was released. It is not possible to have free and fair elections when corrupt people are allowed to contest elections. I know that I have made enemies and lost friends, but the job must be done. Now, let's take away how the federal government has maybe managed this situation. Is there any value or even advisory capacity that we may find in certain lists like this being released? Looking back at 2007, then looking here 10 years, oh no, not 10 years, okay, 11 years, 2018. Is there any, could this serve as an advisory list for Nigerians? And then finally as well, what would you advise Nigerians to do with this list? Because we will get to the phone lines, but we want to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, that was one of the issues that I was going to raise, Nuhu Ribadu tenure as the FCC chairman. In fact, it was one of the first people to highlight this 280 billion naira, according to him, that was that he used at the time, stolen or wasted. But the APC did use to caveat, stolen or wasted by Nigerian politicians, and then he had that very comprehensive list. Now, yes, he did say that the list was advisory, and of course he had to say that because the FCC was not in any way to prosecute people at that time, for that particular kind of offense. So he gave his findings to the government and put it there for them to act, and nothing was done. There is no difference between Ribadu's list and Lai Mohammed's list. They both are a list of people who are corrupt, and Ribadu had evidence of corrupt practices that he found. That list is absolutely correct. That list is a list that should be in the public arena, and yes, I agree, everybody on it cannot be allowed to come back. I believe in zero tolerance. I mean, zero tolerance is good practice. That's what every government, civilized government in this world would follow. Zero tolerance. One strike and you're out. Not two strikes when it comes to corruption, because you've got to understand the impact of corruption on the Nigerian society. You've got to understand what it does to our country, how it decimates our dreams, our possibilities, infant mortality, pregnant women dying out of impact of drugs,
education,
accidents on roads, cars, education, our children being stunted, before they get to an age where they can use their brains, and even insecurity, because the current insecurity in Nigeria is all down again to corruption. Because if there was no corruption, enough money would have been spent in other areas of Nigeria, like the Northeast, with good education facilities, where children have a hope and a stake in the future. They don't at the moment. So the list, this list is a list that we should revisit. We should revisit it, and I agree. I would recommend that any politician found guilty of corrupt practices should not be allowed to come back. But that is standard practice anywhere else. Why would you be allowed to take up a public office if you're corrupt? And corruption is a crime. If you're a criminal, why would you come back to public office? You know, I don't want to be very personal here, but we've had all kinds. The thing with Nigeria is that we are too forgiving. But perhaps part of the reason that we're too forgiving is because we're all probably all sort of, you know, neck deep in this rubbish that we call corruption. Every one of us, even the woman on the street, when you go into the market and you buy a live chicken and ask a woman to cut it up for you, to take the feathers off and cut it up for you. If you turn your back and not watch her do it, when you get to open your back, you probably find one leg missing.
Some parts of the chicken already gone.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this is the level of corruption that we're dealing with. So for that reason, we tend to tolerate a lot. I'll ask you this. In what other country will a person take over a government by military force and then come back and run an election and everybody says it's okay?
It's in Africa. It's in Africa.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, in another country will a person have a rebellion, as in the Biafra rebellion with the Duke, and fight a war against his own country, no matter how justified it is, and come back and be allowed to run for presidential elections. So what other country would that happen? So we are a country that tolerates far too much. And we've done this not because we are that way. I mean, like saying that Nigerians are innately corrupt. Oh, no. We are not innately corrupt. There's nothing fundamental about the way we behave. Everything that we do in Nigeria is what we have learned. Our youngsters are growing up and they're seeing this state of affairs. They copy it, they live by it, because that's the rule. That is why most policemen will not have any issue with collecting money on the roadside, because when they come out of police college, the first thing they see, the first person they go to, they are putting somebody who's collecting money.
That's true.
Else.
So the trend continues.
That is the modus operandi. Absolutely, that's the modus operandi. Why would you want to change it? That's what we meant. And you have to be, I don't know, the Dalai Lama or something, or that's Mandela to come into that system and say, no, I'm not having this. I want something totally different. So, we need to be looking outward. My impression is if I were God, and this is the question that I was asked before the last election, before the very first election that brought in Jonathan officially, not when he took over from Yaradua. I was asked on your radio station there, if you were God, who would you make president? I said there and then, I would not have Buhari contest. I would not have Jonathan contest. I'll have somebody completely fresh. So I still state that today. I would not like to see any members of the current legislature come back to the House before signing an undertaking that is enforceable, that they will behave in very specific ways. Very specific ways being things like taking a remuneration that is no bigger than anybody else in Nigerian government of the same statute. So in other words, if permanent secretaries are earning 1 million naira and living on it, you as a senator will earn 1 million naira
and live on it.
Don't think it's enough for you. If it's not enough for you, then don't come to the Senate. Nobody's forcing you to the Senate. Go and become a businessman and spend 20 million. The Senate is a place where you come to work. And again, we need a president that is radical. And that is perhaps one of the reasons why we are thinking that a younger, more radical, more up-to-date with the world we live in kind of candidate would be ideal for the next election.
2019.
Come in and have some control over his party. Say to his party members, I don't want to see any of you in the House wearing Babariga and Abada and this, because it really itself gives the wrong message.
Okay.
I want you to come there looking like you've come to work. not looking like it comes to show how much of a big man you are. So, there are small little things that we want to see a government do that indicates that inside their persona and heart, they have a real desire to
actually bring the change.
Okay.
All right. Let's quickly take a look at the function, or probably the role, of opposition in a democratic system, the type that we have in Nigeria. They are supposed to hold accountable, the ruling government or the governing party accountable to the public, and opposition represents also an alternative government, the type that will be responsible to the people, ask all the questions, challenge the policies of the government, and make them do the appropriate things or rule the country aright. Do you think PDP since 2015 has provided a platform? Because if probably they have done, maybe APC will not come up with a list with all the names of their stalwart coming out in the public in preparation towards 2000. Do you think PDP has actually provided a stronger position for the APC since they came into power in 2015?
No. Simple answer, no, they have not. And, well, why would you expect them to? PDP failed in government. They failed woefully in government. They had 16 years to stamp their mark on Nigeria, and they failed to do that. Why? Because it does not have the level of resources within the party to run the country effectively. And it's the same resources that you need to run a country that are required to mount serious opposition. But, most of our problems with politics in Nigeria is that our politicians are not really in there for politics. They're in there for themselves, and they spend a lot of their time looking for what they can get for themselves. For PDP to be an effective opposition, they should have a strong research capability. They should be able to decipher the economy and see what is wrong with the economy and harp on it. Let me give an example. I'm an economist, and there's something that I'm very, 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 very focused on the fact, as far as I'm concerned, that apart from corruption, another major problem Nigeria has is that the government doesn't get to spend as much of the national income as it should, because everywhere else in the world, that's what they do. And for me, that therefore has to be standard and best practice. So the issue of this revenue to GDP percentage that I brought it out for the first time when I wrote a letter to Fashola in 2012, the 2nd of February 2012. I wrote a letter to Fashola, and I pointed out that Nigeria had a 6% of government income to GDP compared with the next best, next worst country, which at that time was Namibia with 11%. And Ghana was at 26%, and of course Norway and Denmark at 50%. But it meant nothing to anybody. It just it's hung up there, and every time I come on radio, I always say, because I think it's so vital. If you want to really understand economics, you have to understand that very, very clearly. If you don't have a car, you don't need a road. As simple as that. If you have cars, you have to do roads. And if you have cars, you have to pay taxes on them so you can do roads. As simple as that. And that's a very simple analogy. But the thing is, it took this government until last year for the Minister of Finance to pick up that and actually use that, our revenue is 6% only. That only last year, been in power for 2 years plus before she picked it up, and that's Finance Minister. The opposition never know that. They have got a clue. And it only became relevant when Bill Gates came to Nigeria 2 weeks ago and said exactly the same thing. But that's 6 whole years after I first published that in the public domain, that this is something that needs to be addressed. If during that period from 2012 to now, the government has in incremental stages improved that taxation, even by as low
Hello?
6 to 7 or 7 to 8, which would be negligible and invisible. By this time, it will be close to 10%, which would mean, as Bill Gates put it, an additional $18 billion in government coffers, which is twice as much money as we have now. And nobody would have noticed that. Imagine what difference that would have made even with corruption, if they were stealing 50% of it, and they steal 50% of 20 billion every year, that left 10 billion to government to spend. If they steal 50% of 40 billion, that would leave 20 billion. So it's still a lot of money available. But if none of it was stolen, that would have actually, in short, Nigeria shouldn't have an economic problem. The idea being that a man at the bottom on the ground cannot fall. You can't fall way at the bottom, because there's nowhere to go. There's only one direction that Nigeria can go, which is up. You can't go down. It's not even up. Our economy is in such a bad state that every small thing we do makes it better. For anybody to make our economy worse, it would be like snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Okay, because of time, because of time, I quickly want you to just talk about if eventually we have a very weak opposition. I mean, as we approach elections in 2019, from the way things are panning out, we probably will have a very weak opposition in 2019.
Mr. Duke, I beg you, sorry, because of time, to make this as short as possible, please. I apologize.
And so, what's the question again, quickly?
Yeah,
we had a weak opposition in 2019.
Yes,
well, if you have a weak,
go ahead.
What we're going to have is exactly the same situation, because we'll have nobody challenging the government's economic policies, social policies, or indeed even foreign policies over the next 4 years. So we can expect a further decline in our economy, a further decline in the value of the naira, and more unrest in the country.
All right, Duke Oputa, thank you so much. We're shaving it right in at the edge of time, but we do appreciate your time this morning. And of course, we'll have, as more updates come in and it develops further, we'll continue the conversation with you.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
The same to you. Thank you. All right, Lagos, we need to take a quick time out, but we will slide in a few WhatsApp messages if we get them, 080-9597-5805. But we do have messages coming in from our Facebook page, and we'll get to those right after we come back. Stay with us.
Lagos, it's going down live every Thursday at your favorite hotspot for relaxation. Come and enjoy live band Thursday at the Cafe Royale as we bring to you the best band in Lagos, Salt of the Earth, combo night from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Be the first to witness the best live music every Thursday. Cafe Royale is located at 267A Etimian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos, beside Cool FM. Come eat and drink in a cozy restaurant and lounge, and you also get to enjoy the best of live music. For reservations, please call 080-999-28804. See you there.
Hi guys, my name is Tolu Adeleru Balogun. I currently host Morning Crossfire. I'm here to tell you that you have to get your PVC. Your permanent voter's card is your power, and in your hand you hold the power to make any necessary change that you want in Nigeria. Please participate, because elections are not the end of democracy and governance. The highest office in the land is the office of the citizen. You and I are citizens of Nigeria. Get your PVC. Your PVC, your voice.
Nigeria's first 24/7 all news station. 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Trending news, newspaper reviews, sports and analysis on current and rising issues. The Breakfast News Digest, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, we are literally skirting on the edge of the conversation, but we'll just take a few comments. On WhatsApp, Taraya Douglas says, corruption to me goes beyond stealing. It encompasses disobedience to the law of the land. Any person that exercises nepotism is corrupt, and any political party that fails to uphold her manifesto is also corrupt. Corruption should be fought holistically for the good of the country. Remember, throughout the show, you can, of course, also send us in WhatsApp messages. But the most interesting stuff happening is going down on our Facebook page. Don't forget, on Facebook we are at www.facebook.com/Nigeria Info. And right now, very big shout out to Walter Adiakpan, Ifeanyi Ozozie, Bazi Chinedo Okeke, K Cool, who else is there? Samuel Kaka, Olawore, Chinyere. A number of you guys are having like your own mini conversation around the issue we are discussing. So please make sure you're always part of our Facebook situation. It's a live video streaming of what's happening in the studio, and contributions are also on there as well. You can also find out what we're doing by following us on YouTube Live. It's www.youtube.com/Nigeria Info FM. Again, YouTube is www.youtube.com/Nigeria Info FM. If you've missed any of the shows or any of the conversations we've had, you can go back to the Facebook videos or go back to the YouTube videos and watch them at your leisure. I wish I could take the comments, but a big shout out to everybody who has been part of the conversation on Facebook and on YouTube as well. We do appreciate you spending some time listening to us and, of course, being part of this conversation. We'll keep you up to date if there are any developments, if litigation does come into play concerning the list released by the federal government in regards to alleged
major
looters.
popular ones now.
Yes.
Jang and Stella Odua.
So we'll see what happens to that. Lagos, this is how we call it a wraps on the Breakfast News Digest with Tolu and Dapo. Up next is the Money, Business and Economy Show with Tunji Andrews. But in between, you have the headline news. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you bright and early, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.